Said Mark Selby had never lost to Martin O'Donnell, and we know what happened last evening. Just a reminder that all 4 tables throughout the evening can be watched on Discovery Plus. Another big crowd inside the Brentwood Centre, with O'Sullivan and fellow Essex boy Ali Carter coming through earlier against Liam Pullen, the World Junior finalist from earlier this year in Sydney, Australia. Judd Trump taking on Jimmy Robertson. A 4th round place at stake here at the English Open, and it's Trump to get us underway. And it's good evening to Neil Foulds.
Yes, good evening, Philip. Looking forward to this match. And as you pointed out, you know, the head-to-heads don't exactly cry out that Jimmy Robertson's going to win, but we know that at his best, he's created a number of shocks over the years, not least winning that European Masters when no one thought he'd win that week. So I don't think anyone in the best of 7 would rule him out, despite his pretty average record against the man he's up against tonight. I think he's a kind of player, Jimmy Robertson. He's quite a quick player, and if he gets off to a good start, his instinct, and you can put him 2 frames in front before you know where you are. He's that sort of player. So he's no back number in this match. Of course, he's playing a man who is very much on the shortlist to win, and I guess every day his stock is rising, given that a lot of his fellow top 16 players are dropping out, being beaten. So an early opportunity of some description for Jimmy Robertson, albeit not an easy starter. Yeah, certainly not an easy one. Of course, the other thing is that when top players get knocked out, there becomes a trend that others follow. So Judd will be fully aware that he could be the next casualty. We saw Jack Lazowski beaten earlier on by Elliot Slessor to continue the trend, having lost a lot of others from the top flight. Not least Sean Murphy and Neil Robertson and indeed Mark Selby last night. We never got to the bottom of what happened with Selby. We never heard from Mark Selby at all as to why he might concede when he can still win. It was very out of character.
Trump has moved through pretty serenely thus far. Whitewash Sean O'Sullivan made a century, and then 140 break against Scott Donaldson in a 4-1 win, so he's only lost 1 frame. But he's missed that pink, which is a surprise. He seemed to just lose control of that shot a minute. Hang on. He's also knocked the red in.
Well, the red is better off in than over the pocket, I suppose.
The fact that he crashed into the brown shows that that shot went awry. It was an up and down sort of season for Trump. Obviously, he won the Masters, which is one of the biggest tournaments in the game, of course, but in the ranking events, he wasn't as effective as he has been in the past. Just the 1 final, which he could have won, actually, from 7-2 down against Mark Allen, the World Grand Prix. He had a chance in the decider, having fought back. But I think he feels that at times he got a bit bogged down last season in a way that is very unlike him, and he's determined to start playing his snooker on his terms again this season. There've certainly been signs of a return to the old form and swagger, but he started this frame a bit scratchily.
Yeah, I've seen more balls missed than we saw in the entire match with O'Sullivan and Page earlier. 4 centuries made in total in that 4-1 win. 1 for Jackson in the frame he won. I think last year with Judd, like you say, that won the Masters, when he, for the most part, you know, he didn't seem the best player that week, but he won the final, and of course he was the best player because he lifted the trophy. Then straight off to the World Grand Prix, literally the next day at Cheltenham, which didn't give him much chance to sort of celebrate. He got to the final, probably could have won it in the decider, lost to Mark Allen. So while he's in a golden spell, you know, he had a big disappointment to lose that final in the way that he did. So it put him back a little bit. There's another mistake on safety, this time leaving a red available. Blackie's, as you can see, a little tangled up. Not entirely, but a little. So Jimmy Robertson with a really good chance here. Judd has missed a couple of very gettable shots, and Jimmy will need to strike early, I think.
Robertson's win in Lommel was tremendous performance. He beat Joe Perry in the final. He'd never been past the quarterfinals of a ranking event before winning that tournament.
5 years ago now, wasn't it? Amazing to think that it was that long ago.
And it could have got a bit edgy because he was 5-0 up at one stage to Perry. He pulled it back to 8-6, but he actually finished the match and clinched the title with the biggest break of the final, a century. Since then he's had a few struggles in terms of consistent results, and in more recent times he's looked to work on the mental side of the game, try and get better at being clinical in the key moments of matches. Last season was a bit disappointing really, nothing better than the round of 32. He did qualify for the Crucible, but he lost to Williams 10-5. This season he's already made the round of 16 of the European Masters, where he beat Williams. And he has qualified for the upcoming International Championship, which takes place next month, but he lost out for next week's Wuhan Open in a decider to Rod Lawler. So he's had some good results so far this season and some less good ones. Clearly if he could score a victory over Trump tonight, that would give him a huge lift. That's nicely played. Very nicely played. He really give it a bit extra to ensure he finished top side. He's gone a fraction too far, but even then it's gives him options to just screw perhaps into the four reds down the middle of the table to hold the cue ball. I think he did play some sort of a cannon. It may not be too bad. He's on a red, albeit I'm not sure what follows it, quite honestly, but the crucial opening break this. He has to make something from this and just put his mark on the match.
23.
Tried to push the black into play, but it's not going to be potable there. So unfortunately, it's not going to amount to many. It's a break that was getting more difficult to keep going, I think, by the shot.
Green ball. Robertson, 23.
Spectral applause. Just a few in front.
The other matches this evening, Rob Milkins taking on Wan Sijun on table 2. The winner of that will play the winner of this match in the next round. Ricky Walden is up against Graham Dott, who beat Barry Hawkins last night. And two players who've had some good results of late, Chow Yupeng and Ollie Lyons. They're going head-to-head on table 4. Chow in particular, Neil, has been in extraordinary recent form.
Yeah, we were going through it earlier, weren't we? He's won all of his matches recently to whitewash since the start of September, including a 6-0 win against Ashley Hugill and a 4-0 win the other day against David Gilbert. He looks like he might lose the first against Ollie Lyons, which will just come to an end. A golden run of, I think, 19 frames without reply in various different tournaments. So many tournaments going on. Sometimes I think these performances can go unnoticed on the outside tables.
Trump is, along with Mark Selby, the most successful home nations player with 4 titles in all. That's a terrific pot from Robertson. Aside from the English Open he won in 2020 when he pipped Neil Robertson to the post. Of course, he won 3 consecutive Northern Ireland Opens at the expense of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Was runner-up in the inaugural English Open back in 2016.
Well, that was a good shot too, because there was no doubt that he was going back towards the reds there, and the ping had to drop. This was the opening red. It was beautifully cued.
7. Eight. $50. 60.
Well, he'd be very disappointed if he didn't close out this first frame here, because Judd has looked a little nervy tonight. He hadn't settled into his game, and the only outcome that would suit Jimmy Robertson would be to get off to this start on that basis.
24.
Given that very often when they've played, Trump has played so well. Just another red, and the frame will be overbarring a lot of snookers.
31. 32.
So the perfect start for the underdog, only 51 left. Judd Trump missing a couple early in the frame. It's a full decade since Robertson tasted victory against Trump. His only success in 10 attempts. But these are short matches, and if you can get off to a good start, builds confidence, puts the favourite under pressure.
$45. 6.
Here, courtesy of victories over Rhian Evans and Alan Taylor. The home nations has never been especially kind to him. He's never gone further than the round of 16 in any home nations event.
53.
And he's already matched his previous best in the English Open in getting to round 3.
Robertson, 53.
So with all that in mind, room for improvement for Jimmy Robertson this evening, and that is a very good start from him. A break of 53. He leads Judd Trump, the former English Open champion, 1-0.
Second frame. Jimmy Robertson.
Nico DeVos, our referee for this one, confirming it's frame 2 of 7, and Jimmy Robertson is breaking off after a break of 53, accounted for the opening frame, just 1 red from Trump.
That is a gem of a long pot. We were right behind it, and you saw the fact that it was just off straight. I mean, he has had to push the cue ball down the table a little bit. Just off straight, he potted it delightfully. I don't know if he'll try and pot this black. It's a tough one. He's got to screw into the bunch a little, maybe into the end red. Don't know where this break is leading, because the red up the table, does it go past the yellow? I mean, he can keep things going, Trump, but it doesn't look a very appealing chance to make a break in this situation. Very short matches, best of 7. Of course, the home nation has never changed. It's not as if it's a new thing. We've had plenty of very well fancied winners, but you know, these rounds are tough in the early stages to get through, whoever you are.
Trump suffered a tough loss last week at the British Open in Cheltenham. He lost to Hamid Mia, who played superbly and won on the very last black. Trump made a safety error. Mia, who is a great long potter, thumped it in from distance into the yellow pocket.
Yeah, that would hurt him to lose that match, but as you rightly say, Hamid Mia, the feature of that match was his long game. He kept drilling in long pots, and I think in the end things began to tell a bit for Judd. Very close decider, which he lost on the black.
The most recent of Trump's 23 ranking titles came at the Turkish Masters in Antalya in the weeks before the World Championship. Just not quite happening for him at the moment. Very early stages, of course. But it's been well over 18 months ago since he lifted ranking silverware, so he'll be keen to end that drought sooner rather than later. And he's going to get another immediate opportunity, although the red has landed in a slightly awkward spot.
But it was natural to come down for the black, so it was well worth trying. Getting the black into the game and getting some scoring early, that was what Judd wants. It was to keep the high value colours in play, I think, in this match. Goodness me, he's missing everything at the moment. It is early in the match, but gonna have to start playing. This is a terrible miss.
It's catching.
Robertson.
Well, that will really annoy Jimmy Robertson. He knows he's got to take opportunities like that. Mistakes from Trump, you've got to think, won't keep coming in the way they have early in this match, and that was a glaring error on the black.
It was. I wonder if he got a kick, though. I mean, we don't speak about kicks so much these days because technology seems to have changed and they're not so prevalent, but that looked like it straightened a bit and jumped a little. I don't know for sure, but it just felt like it might be one.
Either way, it's an opportunity for Trump to immediately get the Miss Black out of his system, try and re-establish the rhythm he's shown in his first two matches.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. Seventeen. Four. $25.
It's got a red that he can just thread through that gap there. It's a good shot positionally if he's on the red. I think he is.
65.
Red to middle available. It's not been a walk in the park tonight, but having seen that miss from Robertson, it might have just given Judd Trump a boost that despite being behind, you know, he's still got a good opportunity to win the match if he plays anywhere near his best.
$48. 49.
This is the black.
55.
Yeah, it does look like a kick, doesn't it?
I think it was. Yeah, I haven't seen it again. I think even more so now. Of course, it doesn't make it any more palatable for the player who's been on the receiving end, does it? But at least we're not talking about them all the time these days because, like I say, they're not so prevalent with the different chalk and everything. But that seems to be one.
And
that's a throwback, wasn't it?
Could be really significant, couldn't it, in this match? Because Trump clearly hadn't settled. He'd missed a few pots. He'd just missed a black. Robertson had won the opening frame. Trump's missed that one, even though the frame is
63 in front.
won with a break of 63. But had he not got that kick, who knows? Robertson could now be looking at a 2-0 lead. And then Trump's really under the pump. But as it is, the 63 makes it one frame apiece. Judd Trump won. Jimmy Robertson won. It could have been different, though. That kick that Robertson got early in frame 2, he's got to get that out of his mind. That was a bit of bad luck for him because Trump was struggling a bit to that point, but having missed the black to let Robertson in before the kick, he then regrouped to make 63 to level the match. But once again, not the best shot from Trump. Not a great break off, catching the blue. Their most recent meeting was last year at the Welsh Open. Trump won 4-1. And they played here at the English Open in round 2 years ago, a 4-2 win for Trump.
Nice important shot with the blue over the pocket. Whether he ends up on it or not is another matter. I think he will be. That was a nice shot from Judd. He really got into the cue ball there and controlled it around the angle. That was better than the 1 or 2 that he'd missed. That's also a terrific shot, but don't tell me he's not that in. Oh, that is criminal. That is criminal. He's put a terrific red. He showed a lot of enterprise on the blue, and sometimes you have no control over this. I mean, that's not a plant that you could witness in there. You can't think, well, I'm going to knock a red in. It's a worry for me, that. It's as if he's trying to get started and there's something stopping him from doing it almost. He was very unlucky there.
That was certainly the trump of old, wasn't it? Being ultra aggressive, great long pot initially and then going for the jugular immediately. But it's not worked out for him, so Robertson getting the chance to put the disappointment of the previous frame behind him immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a good chance. I think the pink will go on its spot, which is a slight annoyance. He wouldn't have minded it on the black spot for now. Out in the open.
Eight.
Well, he's played one there. He's obviously not very well on the next red. I think the black will go to the right corner, but he's going to take a good shot to pop this red and get behind the black from here. Referee Nico de Vos, pretty colourful character, isn't he, doing the honours in this match? From Holland. In fact, I think he's from Belgium, beg your pardon. Nicely played. It's on the, there he is. Been having a good week here in Brentwood. Again, he's not quite on the red he'd like to be on, the thinner red now. Playing up the table for probably blue. That'll do him. Just striving for exact position. I think over on the side of the table he's now standing at, he's got 2 or 3 reds available to him. So there's quite a big area he can land in over on that left side. A choice of at least 3 reds to follow.
Seven. $28.
Once again, just exploited that area where he's got a choice of reds. All this comes from that very unlucky shot that Judd Trump played. Yeah, right, if you can spin that Trump knocked in the blue in, or knock the red in again at some point, it'd be good, anytime.
34.
Well, this was really unlucky, wasn't it? He knocked that red in the middle. I mean, really, there's no justice in the game.
Well, they say the luck evens out, and that's not necessarily always the case, particularly in a match of this length. Robertson suffered the misfortune of the kick in the previous frame, which might have cost him a 2-0 lead, and Trump certainly very unfortunate there.
Yeah, I mean, it might even out over a career, but that's no consolation this evening, is it? People do say that, you're right.
49.
Strangely, I heard Mark Williams this morning, having beaten Xiao Guodong, saying he's never had a worse run of the ball in his life than in that match. He still got home, having played well, but he said that, I suppose it's not sour grapes when you win and say it. He reckons he had a terrible run. But that is, unfortunately, the nature of snooker. A lot of luck plays a part. A lot of skill, but decent amount of luck as well. And, I mean, that knocking the red in from the blue basically has cost him this frame, and just when he was starting to get going, I think.
Well, with that red going in, Robertson is 62 in front with only 59 left, so looks certain now to go 2-1 up. And it's Trump's turn to park the crushing disappointment of that misfortune just now. It was a brilliantly conceived shot to split the reds asunder. Couldn't have legislated for a red
65.
going in, having potted the blue.
Six. $73. Robertson, 73.
A break of 73 to go with the 53 he made in the opening frame. And the underdog is back into the lead. Judd Trump's turn to regroup. He trails 2-1.
Thank you. Frame 4. Jimmy Robertson.
Jimmy Robertson back in front, helped by that break of 73 after the ill luck of Judd Trump in splitting the reds, having potted the blue, but seeing a red drop in to the right centre pocket. That set up the 73 break for Robertson in his bid to score just his second win over Trump in 11 attempts, and his first in over a decade.
Strange old break. The red has come a long way down the table, which sometimes happens, but so far, and that it's actually got cover behind the brown ball. Oh, ball's flying around everywhere there. There might have been an edge of frustration in that shot because he didn't half give it a whack. So it's very hard to be accurate. It doesn't bode well for the evening, does it, this, for Judd? I just got a funny feeling that he feels that things aren't going his way. That was a shot, I think, of a frustration. You can see it. Doesn't very often show much.
One.
Well, it was awkwardly on the pink, and I'm afraid
Robertson, 1.
it's a match that's been shows some good stuff, but strewn with quite a few errors.
One. Four.
Well, I don't know if he's on that red. He looked at the red at the top of the bunch there. I get the feeling that the other red is in the way of the contact you need. Clearly he can hit it, but we're not talking about that. It's a question of can he get the potting angle. I don't know. Recovered well though. Nice shot. Nice shot. That'll make him feel a little better.
Yes, he looked thoroughly fed up, didn't he, when he missed the red from long range, but straight back at the table after Robertson missed the pink. It's been that sort of match so far. It's been a bit of a seesaw situation with both players making mistakes, looking to punish when they do get a reprieve, as Robertson was able to do in the previous frame.
10.
Yeah, he decelerated on that one. It's the overcut shot where the cue did not go through at the speed he meant to, and he hit it too thin. And again, a bit of discomfort in his game, I think, tonight.
One. Six. Seven.
That's a good idea to get the black in play. He might be needing to get into the bunch of reds here. The natural angle might be into the 5 reds. He doesn't necessarily want to. So that's a good shot, just a little nudge, but now the next red is not easy either, so it's a lot of pressure on this.
14. 8. 9.
Played this well, just a little nudge into the four reds, not anything too dramatic, because he knew he was landing on one of them.
17. 24. 25. 30. 31.
'So the two reds in the middle of the table, one will free the other one up. The lead is already 31 points. So he still needs two more reds from here. 39 will be the lead and this goes in. So red colour and a further red. And we're all at level at 2-2. It's been entertaining.
44.
It's been not without error. Sometimes that's the beauty of snooker though, isn't it? You can see a perfect display, which is great, but other times, you know, you see a few mistakes interspersed with good play and you enjoy the match for that reason. I think this is going to get a bit nervy. Both of these two will see it as an opportunity this week because players are being knocked out, high profile players. Someone's going to have to win the thing, aren't they, come Sunday night?
So Trump over the winning line in this frame, and the pattern has continued, hasn't it, in this fourth frame? Both players making mistakes. This time it's Trump who's having the last word, as Robertson did in the previous one.
58.
He looked thoroughly frustrated at the start of this frame when he missed that long red.
9.
And then another error thereafter, but he'll feel better now for levelling the match. And he knows his game's in pretty good shape.
66.
Made the winners group of the Championship League, was runner-up of course to Barry Hawkins in the European Masters. Hawkins had an outstanding week. Made the quarterfinals in Shanghai where he lost to Selby.
He's going to play the black here, isn't he? Because it's the only ball, apart from the pink, which is completely safe, which can take him to a century.
Trump. 67. On frame. Frame 5. Judd Trump to break.
Es ist ein Kopf-an-Kopf-Rennen, was sich Judd Trump und Jimmy Robertson hier liefern. Zweimal hat Jimmy Robertson vorgelegt, zweimal hat Judd Trump aber sofort den Ausgleich geschafft. Natürlich bauen beide Fehler ein, aber auf der anderen Seite, wir hatten noch keinen Frame, wo es nicht wenigstens ein 50er Break gegeben hat. Jimmy Robertson hat Breaks von 53 und 73 Punkten gespielt, von Judd Trump eine 63 und eine 67. Judd Trump im Moment mit einer Quote von 83% beim Locherfolg. Das ist natürlich weit unter dem, was eigentlich normal ist für ihn. Also es gibt einen Trickshot, der heißt Disappearing Shot. Das hat Jimmy Robertson jetzt hier unfreiwillig gemacht. Auch das war unglücklich. Kann man ihm keinen Vorwurf machen. Die rote unten vor der Ecktasche, die interessiert ihn. Judd Trump hat in den Runden zuvor ja mehr von diesen langen Bällen gelocht. In der letzten Saison, da war er, was die Longpots betrifft, nicht auf dem eigentlich gewohnten Niveau. Das hat ja auch dazu geführt, dass das ein für seine Verhältnisse jetzt nicht gerade berauschende Saison war, obwohl er immerhin das Masters gewonnen hat. Eigentlich war er in dieser Saison bisher in diesem Bereich wieder sicherer. Aber heute, das ist ein Rückfall in die etwas schlechteren Zeiten.
13. $14.
Schön den Spielball auch in die Roten reingebracht.
21.
Jimmy Robertson greift das Queue im Stoß sehr weit hinten und hat auch eine ungewöhnliche Handhaltung dabei. Etwas unkonventionell, aber richtig ist, was funktioniert.
29. $30.
Jetzt braucht er einen Rettungsball. Blau in die grüne Tasche, also oben rechts. Den Applaus hat er verdient, zumal er da unter Druck war. Er wusste ja, er würde für Judd Trump die goldene Chance da liegen lassen.
$36. $58.
Nach Schwarz ist die nächste rote dann der Frameball. Da hat er Schmutz auf dem Spielball entdeckt. Nico de Vos überprüft auch nochmal, ob da jetzt wirklich alles runter ist. Er hat ja schließlich schon mal einen Kick kassiert und der hat ihn am Ende einen Frame gekostet.
$65. $66.
Keine Mühe mit dem Frameball. Ein paar Pünktchen mehr wären jetzt noch gut, denn im Moment braucht Trump nur einen Snooker. Jetzt sind schon 3. Die Einblendung eben übrigens war verkehrt, waren ja nur 4 Rote noch auf dem Tisch, also 59 Punkte noch. Also Trump beim Locherfolg jetzt abgesagt auf 81%. Jimmy Robertson deutlich über 90%. Da braucht man sich nicht zu fragen, warum Jimmy Robertson jetzt hier erneut in Führung geht.
'88. '89.
Die blaue in die grüne Tasche. Das war natürlich der Schlüsselball, mit dem er das Break gerettet hat.
96.
Jetzt blau fürs Century. Es ist sein 184. Century insgesamt. Und um das mal einzuordnen, es ist sein 5. in dieser Saison. Und in der gesamten letzten Saison hat er nur 8 geschafft. Das
106.
unterstreicht auch, dass er erheblich stärker spielt als vor Jahresfrist.
110. $115. $121.
Eine Clearance von 128 Punkten von Jimmy Robertson. 3:2. Er führt also wieder. Frame Nummer 6. Jimmy Robertson wird hoffen, dass das der letzte ist in diesem Match. Judd Trump wird alles daran setzen, dass es nicht der letzte ist. 3:2 für Robertson. Judd Trump in der Saison 2019-2020 hat er 6 Ranglistenturniere gewonnen, damit einen Rekord aufgestellt und in der Saison darauf dann auch 5 Titel geholt. Also da war er der absolute Dominator der Snookerwelt. Es ist klar, dass eine solche Phase nicht ewig andauern kann, aber er hofft natürlich daran, wieder anknüpfen zu können, dieses Niveau wieder erreichen zu können. Aber es ist auch eine Frage des Selbstbewusstseins und durch Siege bekommt man Selbstbewusstsein und Niederlagen knabbern eben am Selbstbewusstsein. Das kann dann ein Teufelskreis werden. Die Spiel jetzt mit 2:1 gegen Oliver Lyons. Chow Yupeng im 3. Frame mit einer 132. Graham Dodd 2:0 gegen Ricky Walden. Und ja, Walden braucht im 3. Frame auch schon Snooker. Also Das sieht nach einem 3:0 für den ehemaligen Weltmeister aus. Gegen Robert Milkins. Judd mit einer 73 im 4. Frame. Judd Trump, so schlecht war die Safety nicht. Der Spielball eigentlich nah genug an der Bande, aber eben nicht perfekt.
Three.
Seit seinem Kick lässt er relativ häufig den Spielball reinigen. Auch heute Abend wieder gut besetzte Tribünen.
Four.
Auch heute Abend haben wir natürlich wieder ein zweites TV-Match. Mark Allen gegen Matthew Selt. Mark Allen, ja, der Spieler des Jahres in der letzten Saison. Aber Matthew Selt, das ist immer ein harter Brocken.
Eleven.
Das wollte er nicht. Schwarz jetzt von unten aus gesehen so nah wie möglich an den Spot herangelegt. Damit ist Schwarz da blockiert und die rote neben Schwarz ja genauso blockiert.
Jimmy Robertson, 11.
Also wenn er davon ausgegangen ist, dass die rote dann noch immer lochbar wäre, wenn Schwarz zurückgelegt wird, dann war das eine Fehlkalkulation. Nico de Vos, der Schiedsrichter, hat hier alles richtig gemacht. Aber sofort bekommt er die nächste Chance. Da spielen die Nerven jetzt eine entscheidende Rolle. Der letzte Frame, den man gewinnen muss, ist immer der schwerste. Und ja, gerade in einer solchen Situation, es geht um den Achtelfinaleinzug hier. Es ist auf dem TV-Tisch. Und nicht zu vergessen, die Bilanz der beiden. 9:1 für Trump. Jimmy Robertson hatte seinen heutigen Gegner seit gut 10 Jahren nicht mehr geschlagen.
X. Seven.
Schön gemacht. Nicht nur rot gelocht, sondern gleichzeitig schwarz freigedrückt. Perfekte Karambolage mit der zweiten roten.
Fourteen. Fifteen.
Das war da der erste Kontakt, die erste Karambolage, mit der Schwarz frei gemacht hat. Gerade eben, das war auch wieder so ein guter Kontakt.
Thirty. 31. $38. $39.
Schwarz muss er jetzt sehr dünn spielen. Aber an Pink kommt er noch nicht ran. Toll. Also, da muss man den Ball erstmal lochen, so dünn. Dass der Spielball dann schnell bleibt, das ist klar. Einmal um den Tisch herum, aber er hat den Spielball da gut abgelegt.
$47.
Das sieht jetzt nicht so gut aus. Wäre wahrscheinlich effektiver gewesen, wenn er die untere Rote voll getroffen hätte und nicht halb. Der Applaus galt Judd. Der hat Robert Milkins nämlich mit 4:1 geschlagen. Judd wird also der nächste Gegner für den Sieger unserer Partie hier sein. Das hat er sofort gemerkt. Der kommt nicht. Er hat ja viele lange Bälle gelocht heute, keine Frage. Aber hier liegt jetzt die nächste Chance für Judd Trump. Judd Trump ja auch hier in Brentwood begleitet von seinem Bruder.
Four.
Jack, der Bruder, früher selber Golfer, hatte dann einen Job als Greenkeeper auf einem Golfplatz. Aber Judd Trump hat ihn dann überredet, das doch dran zu geben und stattdessen ja, mit ihm gemeinsam an der Snooker-Karriere zu arbeiten.
Lovely. Seventeen.
Jimmy Robertson hat es einfach nie geschafft, Judd Trump abzuschütteln. Er hatte in diesem Frame ja 2 Chancen. Einmal wurden nur 11 Punkte daraus. Das andere Mal verschoss er dann schon die erste Rote.
Six. 31. 32.
'Das sind die typischen Judd Trump Exhibition Shots, wenn der Frame gewonnen ist. Aber er hat toll gestellt auf Gelb.
41. 44. 48. 53.
Also, Judd Trump wird mit Rückenwind in diesen Decider reingehen. Es bleibt bei 59 Punkten für Judd Trump. Das ist der Ausgleich, das 3:3. Es gibt also den Decider.
Your deciding frame, Judd Trump to break.
Ein unterhaltsames Match zwischen Judd Trump und Jimmy Robertson. Jimmy Robertson wird sich sicherlich ärgern. Er hatte da durchaus seine Möglichkeiten. Er hätte den Sieg schon in der Tasche haben können. Judd Trump, zwischenzeitlich wirkte er ziemlich frustriert, aber aufgesteckt hat er nicht. Und ja, diese 250er Breaks im 6. Frame, da hat er natürlich Fahrt aufgenommen. Jetzt kommen auch wieder die langen Einsteiger. Also eben schon die Breaks im Frame zuvor, da wirkt es so, als sei plötzlich das Spielgefühl bei Judd Trump wieder da.
Four. Five. Twelve. Thirteen.
Da hatte er zu wenig Winkel auf Schwarz und deswegen musste er ganz schön mit dem Spielball arbeiten. Eigentlich hätte der Spielball an dieser roten vorbeilaufen sollen. Jetzt ist die nämlich blockiert. Aber das Problem ist zuvor entstanden. Zu wenig Winkel auf Schwarz.
Judd Trump, 20.
Also 20 Punkte Vorsprung haben hier natürlich noch nicht viel zu sagen. Wenn es so 40-50 wäre, würde einen Unterschied machen. Da hat er sich angeschaut, was da mit den beiden Roten passieren würde. Nicht, dass die untere auf die Rote links von Schwarz läuft und dann abgelenkt wird, sich vor die Ecktasche legt. Dass der Spielball so weit wieder in den Tisch zurückkommt, das war nicht geplant. Das Problem ist nur, dass Schwarz da ja blockiert ist. Achtung, dass es hier nicht zu einem Foul kommt. Immerhin hat er da nichts für Trump liegen lassen. Die Kombination hatte sich Trump angeschaut. Aber spielt safe. Klar, jetzt im Decider muss man auch überlegen, was kann ich hier riskieren und was sollte ich besser nicht riskieren. Gelb und Braun bieten sich natürlich an, um den Spielball dahinter zu bringen. Das scheint auch der Plan gewesen zu sein, aber das schafft er nicht. Und er hat da eine Route direkt vor die Ecktasche gelegt. Da schützt es ihn auch nicht, dass der Spielball da oben nah an der Bande liegt. Und er weiß das. Also in einer perfekten Welt hätte er jetzt mit Schwarz fortsetzen können. Geht jetzt nicht. Und jetzt ja, ist es schwierig, auf die nächste Route zu stellen. Wenn er das gut hinbekommt, dann ist das eventuell die Chance, die er noch brauchte.
Fix. Sammeln.
Jetzt ist er auf Kurs.
Routine. 20. Twenty-one.
Er hätte auch versuchen können, das als Kombination zu spielen, aber das ist jetzt natürlich die bessere Lösung.
Hinein. Thirty-six.
Das ist heute Abend natürlich nicht die beste Leistung von Judd Trump gewesen. Dafür hat er viel zu viele Fehler eingebaut, aber Biss beweist er.
37.
Ist ständig einem Rückstand hinterhergelaufen, hat nie vorne gelegen, aber hat jetzt die Chance, zum entscheidenden Moment die Nase vorne zu haben. Jimmy Robertson hier in Decider hat er keine echte Chance gehabt. Aber zum Beispiel im Frame zuvor, da hatte er ja 2 Chancen. Also der wird einer verpassten Gelegenheit nachtrauern. Schwarz ist der Framebar. Im Hintergrund war da auch Mark Davis zu sehen. Der spielt jetzt nämlich an Tisch Nummer 2 gegen John Higgins.
53.
Judd Trump in der letzten Saison hat er relativ viele Decider verloren, aber hier hat er das bessere Ende für sich.
Trump. It's friend.
Das 58er Break ist der Schlusspunkt. Jimmy Robertson gratuliert ihm nur noch. Judd Trump setzt sich mit 4:3 durch und steht im Achtelfinale, wo morgen Abend dann Yuan Sijun auf ihn warten wird. So, das eine Match ist vorbei, das andere Match steht